The economy might seem stable now, but there are storm clouds gathering. As we approach January 1st, 2025, three major shifts threaten to shake things up. Higher labor costs for businesses could lead to higher prices for consumers. Companies struggling with debt might lay off workers or cut back on investments. And a stock market downturn can impact everyone's retirement savings. Whether you're a business owner, an investor, or just someone trying to make ends meet, understanding these trends is crucial. It allows you to make informed decisions about your money, your career, and your future. Stay tuned as we explore these critical economic challenges and help you navigate the potential turbulence ahead. Let's start by dissecting the new labor law that's got everyone talking. In a nutshell, it's all about overtime pay. This new law raises the salary threshold significantly. Many employees who were previously exempt from overtime will now be eligible. Businesses will have to pay them time and a half for any hours worked over 40 hours a week. For businesses already grappling with tight margins, it adds another layer of complexity. Many businesses, especially small and medium-sized enterprises, operate on very tight budgets. The increased labor costs associated with this new law could have unintended consequences. The most immediate impact of this new labor law, a hit to the bottom line. Businesses, especially those in labor-intensive industries like retail, hospitality, and manufacturing, are staring down the barrel of significantly increased labor costs. Imagine a restaurant owner who now has to pay their head chef overtime. These added costs can quickly add up. Some businesses may try to raise prices to offset the added expense, but in a competitive market, that's a risky move. It's a delicate balancing act for sure. The impact of this new labor law extends far beyond the walls of individual businesses. It has the potential to trigger a domino effect throughout the economy. If businesses are forced to cut costs, they might reduce hiring or even resort to layoffs. Fewer jobs mean less consumer spending, which can slow down economic growth. This uncertainty can lead to decreased consumer confidence, further dampening economic activity. It's a complex web of interconnected factors, and the potential consequences shouldn't be taken lightly. So, what's the solution? It's not about demonizing businesses or pitting them against their employees. It's about finding a sustainable path forward that benefits everyone. Businesses need to be proactive in adapting to this new reality. Open communication with employees is crucial. Explain the challenges the business is facing and involve them in finding solutions. Transparency and a collaborative approach can go a long way in navigating these uncertain times. By working together, businesses and employees can weather the storm and emerge stronger on the other side. Let's shift gears now and talk about another economic pressure cooker: corporate debt. It's no secret that American companies have been on a borrowing binge for the past decade. Low interest rates, fueled by easy monetary policy, created an environment where borrowing money was cheap and readily available. Companies, both large and small, took advantage of this opportunity. They used borrowed money to fuel expansion, invest in new technologies, buy back their own stock, and even just to stay afloat during lean times. But like any good party, the era of cheap debt couldn't last forever, and now the bill is coming due. Interest rates are no longer at historic lows. When companies refinance debt, they're essentially taking out a new loan to pay off an old one. But if interest rates have risen in the meantime, that new loan is going to come with a much higher interest rate. This means companies will have to shell out significantly more money just to service their debt. That's money that could have been used for innovation, expansion, hiring new employees, or yes, even paying their existing employees more. Imagine you had a mortgage with a really low interest rate. Then interest rates doubled and you had to refinance. That's essentially what many companies are facing right now, but on a much larger scale. Now you might be thinking, so what? That's just a problem for big corporations. It doesn't affect me. But here's the thing, when corporations hurt, the pain is often felt far and wide. If companies are struggling to make debt payments, they're going to start looking for ways to cut costs. Layoffs, hiring freezes, and wage stagnation are all potential consequences of a corporate debt crisis. And when people lose their jobs or their incomes stagnate, they spend less money. This decreased consumer spending can ripple through the economy, impacting businesses of all sizes. A corporate debt crisis could also lead to a credit crunch. It's a vicious cycle that can have far-reaching consequences. Remember those canaries miners used to take underground to detect poisonous gases? Well, in the financial world, billionaires selling off their stock holdings can be seen as a similar warning sign. When people like Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, and Warren Buffett start liquidating significant chunks of their stock portfolios, it raises eyebrows. These are individuals with vast resources, access to the best financial advisors, and a deep understanding of how markets work. So when they start moving money out of the market, it's worth paying attention. Now, it's important to note that billionaires selling stocks isn't always a sign of an impending crash, but when you see a wave of high-profile investors selling off stocks, especially in conjunction with other economic red flags, it can be a cause for concern. So how do we make sense of these billionaire stock sales? One way is to look at the timing and the scale of the sales. Are they selling small portions of their holdings over time, or are they dumping large chunks all at once? Are they selling stock in specific companies or across the board? The answers to these questions can provide clues about their motivations. Another factor to consider is what these billionaires are doing with the money from their stock sales. Their actions can provide insights into their outlook on the future. The truth is, there's no easy answer to the question of whether billionaires selling stocks is a sign of a looming crisis. It's possible that these billionaires are simply being shrewd investors, taking profits while they can and preparing for a potential market correction. On the other hand, it's also possible that their actions are a canary in the coal mine, signaling deeper economic problems that most people haven't even noticed yet. Remember, these are individuals with their fingers on the pulse of the global economy. So what should we make of it all? The key takeaway is that billionaires selling stocks, while not a definitive predictor of a crisis, is a signal worth paying attention to. It's one piece of the puzzle that can help us understand the bigger picture. Like scattered puzzle pieces, the individual economic trends we've discussed, rising labor costs, the corporate debt time bomb, and billionaires hitting the sell button, might seem like isolated incidents. But when you fit these pieces together, a clearer and frankly concerning picture emerges. We're not just looking at separate challenges, we're looking at a convergence of pressures that could create the perfect economic storm. Businesses are facing a double whammy of increased expenses. The new labor law means digging deeper into their pockets to cover payroll, while the looming wave of corporate debt refinancing means even more cash will be diverted to servicing those debts at higher interest rates. This double whammy leaves businesses with less financial wiggle room, making them more vulnerable to any economic hiccups. It's a potent cocktail of economic pressures that could have far-reaching consequences. So, what does this all mean for the average American? While it's not about predicting doom and gloom, it's about being aware and prepared. The potential for economic turbulence is real, and understanding the interconnected nature of these challenges is crucial. Imagine a scenario where businesses, struggling to cope with higher labor and debt costs, start pulling back on investments, hiring fewer workers, or even resorting to layoffs. These actions can trigger a domino effect, leading to decreased consumer spending, slower economic growth, and potentially even a recession. But remember, awareness is key. For businesses, this means exploring ways to increase efficiency, diversify revenue streams, and strengthen financial resilience. For individuals, it's about being financially prepared. The road ahead may be bumpy, but by facing these challenges head-on and working together, we can weather the storm and emerge stronger on the other side. The writing on the wall, a call for action. The economic alarm bells are ringing, even if they're not yet deafening. Rising labour costs, a corporate debt time bomb, and billionaires hedging their bets. These are not isolated incidents, they are interconnected warning signs, a message written in bold on the wall of our financial future. Ignoring these signs won't make them disappear. It will only leave us unprepared when the storm hits. This isn't about inciting panic, it's about promoting awareness and action. We're standing at a crossroads, and the path we choose now will determine our economic well-being for years to come. The good news is that knowledge is power. By understanding the forces at play, we can make informed decisions to navigate the challenges ahead. This is a call to action for everyone, from policymakers to business leaders to individual investors. We need to address the root causes of these economic pressures, not just their symptoms. We need to find ways to create a more sustainable and equitable economic system, one that works for everyone, not just those at the top. Staying ahead of the curve. What to watch for? So what can we do? First and foremost, we need to stay informed. The economic landscape is constantly shifting, and what's true today might not be true tomorrow. Keep a close eye on key economic indicators such as inflation, interest rates, and unemployment figures. Pay attention to what experts are saying, but also think critically and draw your own conclusions. Watch how businesses react to these economic pressures. Are they raising prices, laying off workers, cutting back on investments? Their actions can provide valuable insights into the overall health of the economy. And don't forget about the stock market. While it's not always a reliable indicator of the real economy, it can provide clues about investor sentiment and future expectations. Remember, knowledge is power, and the more informed you are, the better equipped you'll be to make sound financial decisions. Weathering the storm, a message of resilience. The challenges ahead are real, but so is our capacity for resilience. We've weathered economic storms before, and we'll weather this one too. The key is to face these challenges head on with a combination of pragmatism, innovation, and a commitment to working together. For businesses, this means adapting to the new economic reality. Explore ways to increase efficiency, reduce costs, and diversify revenue streams. Invest in your workforce, foster a culture of innovation, and be prepared to pivot your business model if necessary. And above all, communicate transparently with your employees and customers. They're your most valuable assets. For individuals, it's about taking control of your financial well-being. Review your budget, create a plan to pay down debt, and build up your emergency savings. Invest in your skills and education to make yourself more marketable. And remember, you're not alone in this. Lean on your support network, seek out financial guidance if needed, and face the future with confidence and determination.